So my manager talks to 90% of my clients. We make that introduction to them. But when it comes right down to the nitty gritty, it's me.
Yeah.
It's taking the fall. It's me that's taking the.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the shocking story of Wayne Carini, the face of historic vehicle chasing, has established himself as one of the most well-respected individuals in the world of vintage automobiles, from recovering lost gems from dusty cellars to bringing rare masterpieces back to their original splendor. Carini has become well known among auto enthusiasts. But not everyone is happy with the impact of his increasing influence. In recent years, there have been more voices of dissatisfaction in the classic car community, with some accusing him of manipulating the market to prioritize profits, and even alienating regular collectors. Wayne Carini's wide following has unquestionably raised awareness of rare and vintage cars. By pursuing vintage vehicles, he brought attention to vehicles that the general public had previously ignored, highlighting their distinctive history and craftsmanship. However, this increased visibility has had an unintended consequence. Growing costs in the market. Many collectors contend that whenever a car is highlighted on the show, its value tends to soar due to increased demand from potential buyers. For example, a classic car that was once reasonably priced may suddenly become unaffordable after being shown to a wealthier audience, a trend that has caused some long-time enthusiasts to feel priced out of the market. This occurrence, though not just the actions of Wayne Carini, are a constant cause of annoyance. Critics within the community point out that Carini's business frequently serves wealthy collectors by specializing in rare premium classics. As a result, they contend that the hobby is moving away from the typical enthusiast who restores cars for fun and toward those who can treat these vehicles as investments. Due to the fact that Wayne Carini has not publicly responded to these particular accusations, it has been questioned whether Carini's influence has increased the divide between wealthy collectors and regular enthusiasts of vintage automobiles. Wayne Carini's work on restoring classic cars has been at the core of his career, showcasing the laborious efforts required to bring vintage vehicles back to their former glory. However, even this aspect of his work is not without controversy. His role in shaping the modern classic car market is impossible to ignore for many, and the debate centers on whether his efforts have expanded appreciation for these vehicles or unintentionally fueled a divide in an already competitive space. The harmony between authenticity and restoration for the cars on chasing classic cars has drawn criticism from members of the classic car fraternity. One common criticism is that restorations that put speed ahead of historical authenticity can occasionally result from the drive to satisfy television production deadlines. Purists argue that certain techniques or modern materials used during some projects take away from the car's originality and dilute its true character. These concerns stem from a deep belief among traditional collectors that classic vehicles should reflect their period as authentically as possible, even if that compromises aspects of performance or appearance. Furthermore, some in the community view the highly polished and pristine restorations seen on the show as catering more to investment buyers than to genuine enthusiasts, those who appreciate warts and all imperfections that tell the story of a car's journey through time. This tension highlights the divide between those who see cars as historic artifacts versus those who value them as commodities. However, Carini's defenders argue that his work preserves cars that may otherwise be lost entirely. They believe his approach not only keeps these vehicles on the road but also introduces their history to broader audiences, inspiring a new generation of classic car enthusiasts. For many, a restored car, even if slightly modernized, is better than one left to rust in a forgotten garage. For some, Carini's influence strikes the ideal balance, while for others, it signifies the commercialization of something intensely personal. This ongoing debate puts Carini at an intriguing crossroads. Should restoration prioritize perfection for the modern collector or preserve the imperfections that embody a car's originality? The idea that Wayne Carini's work has helped commercialize the classic car hobby is one of the most common criticisms leveled at him. According to some longtime collectors, what was once a passion-driven hobby has evolved into a competitive market dominated by skyrocketing prices and high-stakes sales, a shift they believe Carini has helped fuel. Critics contend that Carini's rising popularity has changed the hobby's emphasis, making it appear to be more about making money than just enjoying vintage automobiles. They draw attention to the fact that a large number of the vehicles he deals with when pursuing antique cars are marketed as high-value investments that appeal to wealthy buyers rather than to regular hobbyists who restore cars for fun. They claim that this has made the pastime even more exclusive, repelling people who only value the history and craftsmanship of vintage cars.